All right, everyone. AirPods in here with 9 to 5 Sports. Going to be getting into the Week 2 NFL DFS fades. Now, what I like to do, and I'm just going to go over this probably every week, is that I want to focus on the players that, one, at their ownership or one, at their price point, just don't make sense to me as plays. We can find safer plays with much more upside or equal upside at the same price point or at the same ownership. So it's going to be both fading players at a certain price point or fading players because of their certain ownership. And I will start off here with the cover boy, which is Derrick Henry. So honestly, guys, Derrick Henry, not really all too shocking, I guess, that he struggled last week. The thing with Derrick Henry is two things are going to cause Derrick Henry to struggle. One, he gets hit in the backfield. He is one of the worst running backs when it comes to getting hit behind the line of scrimmage. I mean, once he's at the line of scrimmage, just freaking elite. Obviously, pretty much the top running back in the league. But if you get pressure on him before he gets up to speed, pretty much, not a good running back. It's one of the weirdest things. But two, it's really when the Titans are down. He's just not going to play that much, just not as good in the passing game as some of the other running back options and whatnot. So this is a game against the Seahawks, and the Seahawks typically start out their season pretty hot. So with that, I think that the Titans might be playing from behind in this one again. And for me, I just don't want to take that risk with Derrick Henry if, he's going to be playing from behind, which I think that he will be. Only have him projected to score, well, I shouldn't say only, 18.4 DK points. That is a decent amount, which, we like that. He's projected to get 7.6 ownership, which I don't really like. You go with Nick Chubb, who projected to get a little bit more ownership, obviously 10% more. Austin Eckler projected to get more. You could go with Jonathan Taylor. All these guys I like better than I do Derrick Henry. And obviously, if we can go up for Alvin Kamara, Dalvin Cook, and Christian McCaffrey, we're going to do that. So for me, it's kind of an easy fade on Derrick Henry. And then we're going to go lower. So James Robinson, really disappointing. James Robinson, it was two things for him. One, which I'm going to get into, his quarterback really struggled. But two, he didn't really help the cause. He could have caught a couple of passes that he just ended up dropping. He had about 3 passes that he got his hands on that he could have caught, but he didn't. And, that really obviously changed the night for him or the day for him. 8.4 DK points last week. Easily could have been like 16 DK points had he just made those catches. But also, Carlos Hyde looked good. Got a bunch of work in that game. Also, I should mention, too, Denver looked pretty good against the run. They're the best run defense as of week 1. Now, I know it's a small sample size, but for me, I don't really want to be targeting James Robinson, who last week we were. And that's more of just, he's not that high owned, but that's going to be much more of a salary relief fade. Now we're going to get into a quarterback play. Obviously, I kind of already mentioned in passing, Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence looked horrible last weking. And I more or less just want to bring this up because he looked bad. Okay, he's not going to be that high owned. And I kind of want to just tell you guys how bad he was, is really what this was. Pretty much every single pass that he threw, a Jaguars receiver had to adjust their body to it to, try to catch it. Now, there was a lot of drops, but I blame a lot of those drops on Trevor Lawrence for not putting them exactly on target or where they needed to be. It was one of the strangest things that, probably one of the worst debuts, if not the worst debut for a starting NFL quarterback. And I still have him projected to score 17.5 DK points, which isn't horrible. You could easily see that happening. But guys, he struggled against the Houston Texans. And now I know he put up some DK points, 3 touchdowns and whatnot. It's the Houston Texans. They're not that good against the pass. They're going to be a team that we could target the whole year. Denver Broncos, they're a little bit better of a defense, and just kind of shocking that he was that bad. I kind of just want to bring that to your attention. But you can go off and play well. Jared Goff was horrible last week as well, and he scored a ton of DK points. So, you can always see that happening. All right, now let's move down into 2 receivers. And these guys, one of them's kind of chalky, and then the other one is just more or less, I don't think he's going to have a productive game. So we'll start with Robbie Anderson going against the Saints. Now, the reason why I don't like Robbie Anderson this week is, the Saints played the Packers pretty well defensively. Now, I think that was mostly due to the fact that the Packers didn't play well. There's more the Packers not playing well than the Saints playing well, but got to give credit where credit's due. Saints did play well defensively, and I think we're going to see more dump-offs to DJ Moore this week Now, Robbie Anderson can do what he did last week, which is, catch one long TD pass and get there value-wise. I am just worried about him. I think this offense is going to run through Christian McCaffrey, then through DJ Moore, kind of like it has in years past. And for me, in this matchup, that's not something I want to be chasing. So I'm going to be fading Robbie Anderson. Only 2% ownership, not that crazy of a fade. So we'll go to one that is going to be kind of an ownership fade. That's going to be Jamar Chase. He's projected to right around 10% ownership, which was the highest out of any player in this price point range. And for me, that is a little bit scary. Now, I do have him projected to score a decent amount of points. A lot of that's just skewed to the fact that, one, the Bears got beat up. And also, Jamar Chase looked good. He had a really solid game last week. But given the other players in this price point, I'd kind of rather go with them. You got Laviska Shenault, who I think is going to be a safe play each and every week, kind of locking in like 10 DK points every week with him. Christian Kirk in a great matchup going against the Minnesota Vikings presents a nice stacking option for you. And then Jacoby Myers there, I like him a decent amount. He's going to be a safe play for you guys as well. So I'd much rather just go with some of the safer plays in this price point range than I would rather go with Jamar Chase. And just for tight end fades, I'm honestly just fading the New England Patriots tight ends. They're kind of priced up a little bit. And I would rather just go with like Noah Fant in a great matchup going against the Jacksonville Jaguars. We got Tyler Higbee, who, pretty good matchup as well. Those two I think are going to be consistent producers throughout this season. So I'd much rather go with one of those two than I would one of the two New England Patriots tight ends. But that's all I have for you guys for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please give me a like, subscribe. If you guys want to join 9to5 Nation, links in the description below. If you haven't, check out the rest of the videos we have out this week. Got the stacks coming out later after this video, and then we got the core plays and the value plays video already up. All right, thanks for watching, guys, and as always, let's keep cashing.